What if your next chapter started in this breathtaking home in the hills of Encino? Today's Encino home tour takes you inside a stunning Encino home for sale where timeless design meets modern luxury and showcases the very best of living in Encino. From its striking curb appeal and grand entry to an entertainer's backyard with a pool, spa, and outdoor dining, this home is the definition of Encino luxury living. Let's take the tour and stay tuned till the end of this video when I reveal my favorite award-winning restaurant in Encino. All right, so Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group. So on today's home tour, we're looking at a spectacular single-story home in the hills of Encino, California. So Encino is located on the south part of the San Fernando Valley. So today, we are literally south of Ventura Boulevard, south of Valley Vista Boulevard, and we're adjacent to the Encino Reservoir. So what makes Encino such a great area to live is that you're so close to everything on the west side, as well as everything that the valley has to offer and Ventura Boulevard. And again, stay tuned to the end of this video. I'm going to tell you my favorite restaurant that you have to visit here in Encino. All right, let's turn around and start with the exterior. Now, as we walk up to the exterior of this single-story home, I want you to look at a few different things. So take a look at the smooth stucco finish, and they even did that here on the mailbox, which is such a great idea. And then able to combine it with the stonework, the modern lighting, and all of the glass, right? All the glass from these really high-end windows. You have nearly a 10-foot front door, so you gotta love that. So that just gives you an idea of all of the design work that they did in this house, all the upgrades that they thought about here when they remodeled this house. Now, another thing here in the front is the travertine steps interconnected with the rock, right? As you walk up to this enormous front door. But I like here, right, how they have this all glazed and locked down right by the front door, because you don't want to be slipping right on this as you get to the front door. So really smart move. And again, like I said before, you have the modern lighting right here. But let me know what you think of this gorgeous front door. Now we've entered this 5-bedroom, 5.5 bathroom home with 4,800 square feet of living space on a 14,374 square foot lot built in 1971, and it also has a 3-car garage. So let's step back over here. Now look, again, this house built in 1971, but this is what people want from a house that was built in the 60s and 70s. They want to be able to retain a lot of that charm from that era, yet at the same time, they want a modern designed home. And this is what you have here today. And really excited to be able to show all of it to you. Now, the first room, which is right off the foyer, is going to be this half bathroom. So they have a designer tile, and look at the countertop, this quartz countertop here on your floating vanity. You know, this isn't that, that cheap HD supply, right? Especially in this price point. But look how thick that is, that piece of stone right there. So that's something I really like. And then, look, like a lot of people today just leave all of their rooms painted white, but I like here how they have color along this wall. And, it's almost like a maroon-ish color, but I really like it too. And I think it kind of offsets some of the colors that they have going on here in this half bathroom. All right, back into the foyer. So you have these really high ceilings, which of course everybody wants these days, whether it be resale or new construction. So the first room we're going to go into here, you have this large great room, and you're going to step down into it. Now, I wanted to show you the floor here, right? This is the French oak engineered hardwood flooring that you're going to see throughout most of the house. And I know a lot of times people, put in the luxury vinyl plank flooring, but I think for a house like this house deserves something like this for sure. Now, take a look at the ceiling. Look at how the gorgeous beam ceiling and all of the lighting above. You have a pair of skylights, one to the right and then one over here to your left, being able to allow all that natural light to come into this home. This is a pretty large space here for your living room. And then you do have this gas fireplace right here over to your left. You have these beautiful doors that lead you out to the backyard, which we'll get to later. All right, let's start with the kitchen over here to your right. So your living room flows right into your kitchen. Now your kitchen's gonna have this amazing center island that you have here with your sink. And then take a look at all the cabinetry, right? This is the style today. You see it in new construction and also in so many different luxury homes when it comes to the cabinetry and the flooring and the backsplash, right? And so, yes, you do have this large island here with the fluted wood paneling, right? And you have this oak cabinetry also. And of course, you have your top of the line Thermador appliances. But guess what? You have something else here also. I wanted to show you this room and it kind of blends right in. And I always love when a house has this, right? And this, my friends, is your walk-in pantry. So look, they have that kind of modern cabinetry that you see so often. And then come back over here, right? And then you have your built-in Thermador refrigerator right in this spot. And then one thing I do like too is like when you have the kitchen where you have some of the cabinetry where you have the see-through window, right? Probably wouldn't want it for all of it. Not all of your items that you have in your cabinetry is going to be made to be able to showcase, right? But, you know, a lot of it, you know, is going to be everyday use. So you probably don't want to show off those items. All right, so look at this here. Look how they're able to carve out niche right here for 2 bar stools. And then over to your right, you got your stainless steel dishwasher, you have your built-in microwave, and then you have another sink over here to kind of help prep. Now, one thing I really did want to be able to show you right here are these drawers. Now, these drawers, yes, are self-closing, but come on over here. Take a look at this. So you have a drawer within the drawer for some of your smaller stuff, and then look, voila, your self-closing doors. Now here, coming over to the other side, this is something else I wanted to be able to show you also, is take a look at this. You have your ambient lighting underneath your cabinetry right here. And then take a look at the backsplash. So again, it's very minimalist when it comes to color scheme, and you don't need a lot, right? This is what people like. They like these bright, earthy tones in today's market. So look, again, we already showed you your Thermador right here, this gas range with this 6-burner cooktop. And then you have your pot filler, which is perfect because your sink is here, right? And then over to the left, you do have this pot filler. So let me know what you think of this kitchen. And then one last point on this kitchen that you have over here, you're going to see this throughout the house, is you're going to see several places in this home that features the surround sound speakers. And then yes, you do have your LED recessed lighting here, but take a look at the custom right here over the kitchen island too. So they have that additional lighting as well. And then I love the window here, being able to look into the backyard.
Just off the kitchen, you'll find a spacious family room designed for comfort and connection. And this light-filled space is flooded with natural light from the overhead skylight and really creates that bright and airy atmosphere all day long. Of course, you have a cozy gas fireplace, which really anchors the room, and you have several custom built-ins as well. And with the direct access to the backyard, this room seamlessly connects the indoor and outdoor living, making it an ideal spot to relax with loved ones or even entertain guests.
All right, so you may be asking yourself, where's the formal dining room, right? Because if you have your island, you have the family room and living room right off the kitchen. So where's your formal dining area? Well, it's right over here. You have your separate formal dining area space. Now take notice of the glass doors leading to your wine storage area. Let's get a better close-up of that for you, being able to show you how many glasses of wine you'd be able to showcase in this area. And then look, you could easily put a larger table here depending on how many people you need to be able to sit. And like what a lot of people do, they put in a smaller table and you always have that wedge piece, that insert piece to be able to set up a larger dining table space. So that is where your dining table is going to be. And then as we traverse all the way back past the living room, right? And the kitchen was to the right of that. As we go here, take a look at this area. So this is right behind the first living room area that we saw. And then it could basically continues into this area. And so, this is almost like a flex space in my opinion, because again, you could use it here as a living room area. If it was me, I'd probably put my big screen TV here, right? And then look at the access to the backyard, the glass doors, all of that natural light. And then over to your left, this is what I always recommend when it comes to built-ins, is that you need these lights here, right? To be able to showcase these spaces. So sometimes it's just a little bit of ambient lighting, but here they have the full built-in lighting right here. Over to your left, you're going to see another one of the speakers for this built-in sound system here in this house. There's another one in that corner. And then as we turn around, you'll see that gas fireplace. And then let's come by right here. So now we're going to go back into that first living room area. Take a look at all the glass and the high-end windows that you see in this home as it takes us over to the kitchen. Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group, your trusted Los Angeles real estate agent. So what do you think of this home so far? 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, 4,800 square feet of living space. What do you think of the designer finishes on this home? All right, so if you're looking to buy a home here in Southern California, I've been doing this for over 20 years now, hard to believe. And we're fortunate enough to have over 250 5-star reviews online on Zillow and Google, so you can check us out for yourself. And for us, it's really all about making sure that the experience is such a smooth process for you, making sure that you understand what the process is from beginning to end. So you always know what's going to happen next. There's always a lot of hand-holding involved. Now, sometimes this may be, setting up inspections, walking you through the process, how the loan process works. Oftentimes, maybe getting estimates for things that you may want to do after the close of escrow. But because we also buy and flip houses here in Los Angeles, the beauty of that is that I can always give you a really good idea of what the price is going to be if you're going to change out an electrical panel, if you're going to add, a new HVAC system to your home. Maybe you're going to remodel the kitchen, right? I can give you pretty good prices on what it's going to cost depending on what type of finishes you are, and I can always make recommendations. So in fact, we have one of our buyers that's going to be closing shortly. We were at the final walkthrough. They brought a bunch of floor samples, and I walked them through why each one basically showed promise, and it really depended, if they were going to change out the kitchen counter, this is be the color that I would switch it out to, et cetera, and kind of walk them through the whole process of that and kind of what to expect price-wise too, if they were going to get estimates to be able to do that. And of course, we're able to recommend some of our contractors to get bids for on that. So those are just some of the things that we like to be able to do for our buyers. All right, more importantly, let's get back to this home tour. All right, so now we're going to go back into the foyer, and now we're going to walk over past the formal dining room, which we just told you about. And then there's 2 bedrooms on the south side of the house. So 2 of the 5 bedrooms are on the south side of the house. So again, you got your LED lights on top, your skylight above, and then something that I really like here, and you're seeing this more often, a lot of the homes built in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the bedrooms weren't real big, but then you lose a lot of the bedroom to the closet space, right? And so because you don't have to worry about having a closet that, a lot of times just slides, right? So get an idea as we open this up for you. Look, you have all these custom built-ins for you so you can be able to organize your clothes, shoes, personal belongings as you see fit. And I really like it a lot because it's plenty of space for most people. And remember, this isn't the primary bedroom for sure. So I think a lot of people are going to be able to enjoy this. And of course, you've seen the custom flooring that we've seen throughout. All right, so that's bedroom number one. Then you have that adjacent bedroom too. They have it currently staged as an office. And if I was to have a room used as an office or a home gym, anything of that nature, this would be the room that I would have it. Here they have the mirrored closets. You do have the LED lighting above in this room. Now over to your right, you're going to have your laundry room. So your laundry room, this is your washer and dryer hookup. You have the tile flooring, you have storage here, and of course you have the built-in cabinetry that will go right above your laundry. Now here, you have a small little storage closet. You know, you can put your brooms and other cleaning supplies in there. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I did want to show you the garage, and that is, this is a 3-car garage, and take a look at the epoxy finish. If you were to do the epoxy finish yourself, you're probably looking at about $3,000 to $5,000, depending on the quality of the finish of the epoxy. All right, so your second bathroom that we're showing to you in this video, this is going to service the first 2 bedrooms that we showed you. So you have your floating vanity over here. Look at the size of that countertop with the tile flooring. They continue the tile flooring into the shower enclosure, and then look at the tile they have here throughout the entire shower enclosure itself, going from the floor to the ceiling. Now you have a hand sprayer right here, plenty of space to store your soap and shampoo. And then come back over here, right? I do want to show you that. Look at all the custom doors that they have. Now it's not just the bathroom, and it's also leading into all the bedrooms as well. So now we're going to cross back, right? And you can see the kitchen over to your right. Once again, passing the dining room. Now we're going to go over to the north side of the house and check out the final 3 bedrooms, including the primary suite. So over to your left here, this is your 3rd bedroom. And in this one, you're going to see something different. And that is that this one has its own attached bathroom, right? You do have the mirrored closets. Again, the LED lighting on top. And then because you have this minimalist white color here on your countertop, on your vanity, look what they did here. They had this upgraded tile flooring, right, with a gray and white pattern, and they continue that up right to the shower enclosure. And then they have this off-white, almost gray tile backsplash. And this is where even the grout color is really important, because you want that to be able to blend in. They did that here. So you have the shower and tub enclosure with your hand sprayer, of course. And something that I always like too, especially, you know, especially when it's not in your primary bedroom, I like the fact that they didn't take the glass on the shower enclosure all the way, right? Because it's a lot more to clean, number one. And a majority of the water that's going to exit the shower enclosure is going to happen where this glass is. So to me, I think that's a great design idea. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, coming on over here. This is your 4th bedroom, and this one too is going to have its own attached bathroom as well. It has a nice walk-in closet, pretty good size if you ask me, and with the custom built-ins. As we arrive at bedroom number 4, you are going to see to your right that this bedroom has its own walk-in closet, which is always a great feature. And then coming on over here, this bedroom also has its own private bathroom. So once again, you're seeing the same style of design here on your vanity. It's a floating vanity. And then as we turn around, look, because you've got the white counter on your floating vanity, look at the tile. You have that off-white, and then inside your shower enclosure, it's the same tile as this. So you have this gray and white mixture on your designer tile. Again, the hand sprayer, and then look how everything's black here, right? So you have the black hand sprayer, the shower head, the handle into the shower enclosure, and the same with the faucet and even the drain stopper. So a great way to be able to add color is by doing it with the handles, if there are any, or with the faucets or drain stoppers, etc. In this case, I think the black is able to contrast the white and gray in this room. All right, so this is what you've been waiting for, I know. Now we're gonna head over to the primary suite. You have a double door entry into this massive room. And so again, you can pretty much put any type of bed that you wish in this room that you would like. Of course, you have tons of LED lighting on the ceiling. And then I like how they were able to carve out a space here for the TV. So you don't have to worry about one, putting it on top of a dresser or hanging it up in a space where you have all the cords showing, because right underneath here, if this was a real TV, you would be able to put your soundbar underneath it. So you'd be able to hide all of those cords. And then you do have this nice sitting area. And what I like in particular about this sitting area is that it's right next to the exit into the backyard. So it's, maybe it's a little cooler out and you don't want to go outside, but you want to be able to have that natural light in the morning or the afternoon. You can sit right here instead of going outside. So this is what I'm really excited about to be able to show you guys, is this massive primary bathroom, right? And this is what it's all about. And this is really the expectation, I think, for a lot of buyers, especially in this price point, is to be able to have a bathroom like this. So let's start with this. Of course, you got your soaking tub, but like I have always preached from the mountaintop that if I'm going to design a bathroom of this size, of this magnitude, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a shower on each side, and notice they have a hand spray on each side also. And then look, because it's all in this one space, so one, you could have the whole family taking a shower at the same time, and some of the family could even be utilizing the soaking tub. Yet at the same time, none of the water is going to exit this space, right? Because a lot of times when you have that soaking tub in the middle of the bathroom outside of your shower enclosure, well, what happens is when you get out, let's just say you're not the one in the tub itself. Maybe you're bathing your kids, right? But when you take them out, all that water, even if you try to dry them off in the tub, a lot of that water is going to make its way to the rest of the floor. And obviously that's not a safe situation. So I like two things. One, they can continue to dry off here, who's ever using the tub or the shower. And then look, we even have a plank right here to be able to continue to dry off further. And then it's all shielded by this beautiful glass right here. All right, so that's number one. Number two is the walk-in closet, and look at the custom built-ins here. So just remember that Toll Brothers, now granted they have some more features a lot of times in the middle, right, to be able to place some of your valuables, but Toll Brothers charges about $40,000 to $45,000 depending on the floor plan to have custom built-ins done, right? So this is already done for you. You can move right in. So I think that's definitely a must for somebody who's going to be moving into a home like this, especially of this side. Now your vanity here, it's going to be a dual sink vanity, floating variety, and then take a look here, plenty of drawers and cabinetry. And one thing I like here is the fact that they have a window on the right side as well as a window on the left side. And of course, just like your sink, you also have your dual mirrors. And then on top, you look at the beams here, adding so much character to this room. What do you think of this primary bathroom? This primary bathroom truly is a showstopper, especially with your dual showers featuring the travertine checkered floors, limestone flooring, and a custom dual vanity toppled with that arbescado corchia marble. This is the quintessential low maintenance backyard. Right now, one thing I like about here is that you have your travertine flooring throughout. And of course, you have your large pool and spa. You have your newer tile, right? And you have a pebble bottom pool as well. So, a lot of times when you see these houses from the 1960s and 70s, right? How often do you see, the tile peeling off and whatnot? Not here. So this is a very clean look. And, this is something that I think people are going to really enjoy in those warm summer months. Now, as we turn around here, take a look at the covered patio. Now, in the covered patio, right, they actually have the skylights here, right? So that way it doesn't get dark right here. So there's one just to give you an idea. There's a total of 3. And then I like how you come out here, they have artificial grass interconnected with the travertine itself. So that's something I really like. Plenty of room here for a really nice patio table. Over to the left, you're going to have your barbecue area. Look at the size of this gas grill. Have right here your sink as well. And then on this side yard, as we pass a fruit tree, you can see the huge size of this AC condenser unit right there. All right, so let me know what you think about that. Now there's actually more here. I like how they have this simple landscaping in the evening hours. You have all this landscaping lighting that you could be able to take advantage of. But to me, as nice as the pool and the spa and the barbecue area are, look over here. You have this whole separate area that's kind of hidden, right? And this is kind of your zen-like area, right? You got this artificial grass right here. You have a terraced area over there with steps. And then take a look at over here. You have this pergola-covered patio right here. Perfect to be able to watch the world go by. So let me know what you think of that space. And again, it's kind of just hidden. You really don't even see it when you're in the inside of the house for the most part. So I really like that. Great use of space in this backyard. And really versatile for depending on how many different ways you like to be able to entertain. So let me know what you think of the backyard. Now that you've seen this incredible Encino home for sale, let me share one of the best parts of living in Encino, the food. And my go-to is Posto 896, and here's why it's a standout. You see, Posto 896, it's a true culinary gem with Italian and Hungarian cuisine under one roof. And they run 2 parallel menus. One side features Italian dishes like eggplant parmigiana, filet mignon, and gorgonzola sauce, New York steak, grilled salmon, and chicken cutlets. And on the Hungarian side, they serve classics such as the sour cherry soup, the tarragon soup, the beef soup, chicken paprikas, right, veal schnitzel, stuffed cabbage, mushroom paprikas, and homemade noodles with poppy seed or walnuts. All right, so it's very rare to find such an elevated dual concept, and the portions are generous, the flavor profiles are definitely bold, and the atmosphere really warm and inviting. Posto 896 has really earned the praise for its authenticity and unique dining experience. So when you think about living in Encino, it's not just about luxury homes, it's about having world-class, diverse dining options like Posto 896 right in your own backyard. All right, once again, Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group. So what did you think of this 5-bedroom, 5.5 bathroom home, 4,800 square feet of living space located in the hills of Encino? So I'd love to get your thought. Obviously a great location. I think that's one of going to be the biggest selling points, as well as the design of this house. But I'd love to get your thoughts as well. All right, so if you're looking to sell a home here in the greater Los Angeles area, also reach out to us because there's a lot of things that we do. So maybe you have a house that's built in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and reach out to us about our Concierge Plus program, where we're able to basically remodel or make repairs to your current home at no cost upfront. It's literally just whatever you negotiate with our contractor. There's no upcharge, there's no interest that you have to accrue, right? It's whatever you work out with our contractor, and you reimburse through the close of escrow at the end through your net proceeds. And that has helped so many of our sellers, whether it be remodeling a kitchen, bathrooms, painting, flooring, electrical panel, AC, termite work, plumbing work, drywall repairs, just to name a few. So if you want more information about that, definitely reach out to us. Again, I'm Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group, and hope you enjoyed this video.